Okay, so what other legislation is out there as we zoom out and take a big, wide look at everything? A hot bill at the State House. It's stuck in committee, Andrew. Senate Bill 1362. They want to keep politics out of Idaho classrooms. House Ed Committee, though, they want to have more of a conversation.
Which is a surprise considering how successful this legislation was in the Senate. I think there was only 4 people voting against it. But essentially what the bill would do in simple terms is the legislation, Joe, what it wants to do is ban flags from Idaho classrooms that aren't state flags. It could also be the American flag, state flags, tribal flags, other government exemptions also exist for it. Now, the bill's intention has support in theory, but a lot of people in committee today, it couldn't really garner votes because of how it would work in practice. At a workplace best known for disagreement
and everything that goes with that,
Senator Chris Trakel was quick to call his stance neutral.
I'm trying to avoid partisan politics, and I'm being fair here.
Giving a nod to country.
Like we have back here with our national ensign and state flag.
And an axe to all else.
The classroom is not a place to be politicized.
But the focus of the legislation is written in its genesis.
We had a teacher flying the LGBTQ flag. It brought up a lot of decisiveness within my community, both for and against.
The latter of which shared their support for the bill.
But where is the flag for white, straight Christian boys?
Christy Hardy probably sounds familiar.
Over the last 2.5 years, I've helped lead a group in CUNA School District called Parents for Policy Change.
But you probably know her best after falling short in a CUNA school board race. She stole flyers from her opponent.
Yeah, if I see it in the jam, I put it in my hand, and that was wrong.
Step 2, influence the state to supersede your local policy.
This is one of the issues we have had concern about and would welcome direction from the state to settle the matter.
And for what would be a battle of testimony,
and I do go between for and against.
Hardy had no backup.
The rest are all against.
And the rest are vocal too.
From my experience, a lack of representation for the LGBTQ community opens the door for hate.
This bill will ban the pride flag and the transgender rights flag and is yet another attack on the LGBTQ community.
They do not view it as a political symbol. They view it as a beacon of safety and belonging.
But the biggest concern from lawmakers was found in the bill's language, or lack thereof.
I'm not sure what the penalty is here.
Senator Trakel.
It is completely up to the school how they want to handle the matter. The school comes in and tells me, hey, you can't fly that flag. You must take it down. I take it down. That's as far as the school wants to go. That's as far as the school can go.
Why are we writing a state law if at the end of the day it's going to be up to the schools how they want to handle this situation?
Everybody is much more aware of something when it is in law, vice when it is buried in a book of hundreds of rules and policies.
Further, the committee couldn't get over a failure to define terms. Specifically, what displaying a flag even means.
It means you are affirming that this is what you stand for.
But that's not written into the proposed law. And it could impact curriculum.
Suffrage flag, the banners that were used during the civil rights movement, during the Chicano movement.
A final disagreement before the final vote. It can never fall neutral.
Senate 1362 will be held in committee.
So that bill was tabled. So to revisit it, it would take a 2/3 vote from committee to reopen that bill, give it another look. There seemed to be interest in the intention of the legislation by many people in that committee, but how it would actually work out, the lack of definitions being one of them and what display even means, couldn't get through.
I'm curious, so what if I wanted to fly like a Denver Broncos flag? It shouldn't be a political thing.
They use Dallas Cowboys as an example, third-party flag. Now, I think politics are the intention of it. I guess the intention would be keep classrooms at safe, environment focused only on education. But again, like a Dallas Cowboys flag, Broncos couldn't do that either with it.
What about an Idaho state flag?
Yes, because it's a government state flag.
Very good. All right, Andrew, we'll keep an eye on that one. Thank you.